What's up, guys? Here we go again, back to back. We just finished putting the new parts in this guy right here. New twister guide rod and black guide plug. This guy right here is going to set you back 450 bills. So I get a lot of those questions like, how do you make it shoot faster? You know, what should I do next? All that kind of stuff. So I come up with just a few things here. These are going to be right out of the box with your stock Hicapa. Just a few things that you should do. Things that I feel the Hicapa is things that I feel the Hicapa is lacking kind of right out of the box. So first thing, we'll go ahead and pick our top off. We won't be doing anything with the lower, so we'll set the lower to the side. Everything pretty much is going to be on the upper here. Very first thing is going to be the buffer kit. This is what your stock Hicapa comes with. Rubber washer. Not even a piece of metal in front of it for the spring, anything like that. Very first thing, you should get a buffer kit. Now what that's going to do is that's going to obviously absorb a lot of the shock, much better than this is going to. And it's going to shorten the cycle of your slide, meaning you shoot faster. Less time, shoot faster. So the next thing is going to be the guide plug. Now here's the stock guide plug. This is actually pretty heavy. This can definitely be changed out. I do recommend getting the 4.3 guide plug. You might as well go ahead and get it. It will allow you to use more short strokes instead of just the standard amount, because with a 5.1 that's about all you're going to get and still be able to get this out. So I do recommend getting the 4.3. It's going to be a lot easier for you to get your guide rod out should you need to, and more short strokes, making it shoot faster again. Next up is going to be the shoot harder or shoot farther, so to speak. That's going to be a bucking, aftermarket bucking, like Maple Leaf. This is a yellow one. This is, it's been used. It's pretty dirty. That's just an example. I do recommend using the Maple Leaf light blue hop-up bucking. That's the go-to choice for most people. So that's number 3. Number 4 is kind of in combination with that, and that is your inner barrel. So we've got the stock 4.3, but I have a 5.1 inch barrel in here. So normally, if you've got a stock 5.1, you kind of, look at the barrel here and you see the inner barrel is like way back here. Even on the 4.3, the inner barrel is kind of like way back here, and you're like, why is the inner barrel not out to the end of the outer barrel? Why is it back here so far? And that's just kind of the way it is, but definitely I recommend going with a longer inner barrel. For the 4.3s, I always recommend going with a 5.1 inner barrel. That's just a stock 5.1 inner barrel in there. Now for the 5.1, I recommend going with a 6-inch barrel. You're going to have enough room where you can still screw in your, tracer adapter, your threaded adapter, and screw your tracer on, and then you will still be able to activate your tracer. I've done this before. Using the 6-inch barrel, this one's actually a little bit longer. I think this is more like a 7-inch barrel, but the Maple Leaf is a little tricky because they got this little end piece on here that's kind of not part of the barrel. I guess it's part of the barrel, but it's included in the length. So this would be considered a 7-inch barrel. I do recommend going with the 6-inch barrel. It's definitely doable, and with the bucking and the inner barrel, that is going to maximize the gas efficiency of your magazine, because the magazines, unfortunately, on the stock Hicapa, they are right about at 280, 282, right around there. So if you want to get closer, up into the 300s, definitely inner barrel bucking. That's going to make a big difference. Last thing, onto the upper, hammer protection pad. These come in colors now. I put them on all my builds, and I do tell people that, you know, if you want to increase the longevity of your build, you know, some of mine have been going for like almost 10 years, 8 years now, still using the same Hicapas, and, you know, they just need a couple of parts every now and then, and maintenance, tweaks, all the kinds of, you know, that kind of stuff, but you take care of them, maintain them, they last you a long time. Okay, now, so that's pretty much it. That was just the 5 things straight out of the box that I would change myself, and pretty much that I would do on any of my personal Hicapas, or, you know, if somebody asked me, I would do this to their Hicapa too. I would definitely tell them, look, this is what you need to do. You do this, your Hicapa is going to be running a lot better, a lot smoother. I noticed the increase in performance as far as, you know, gas efficiency. I would say probably not efficient, but definitely going to get an increase in FPS and probably accuracy with the longer barrel. Now, one last thing, not necessary, but always looks cool. Magwell. Kind of adds a finishing touch. Well, there you go, guys. That's my 5 first upgrades that I would definitely recommend or do to any Hicapa, any stock Hicapa right out of the box. You know, and all that other stuff you're going to do later anyways, like a slide and a blowback unit. Definitely a hop-up unit is probably going to be, you know, one of the first things that you're going to need to do, because the stock hop-up units, they're a little iffy. So keep that in mind. And that's it, guys. Have a good one. Play with honor. Rock on.